Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome. President Biden was in our neighborhood yesterday in Fort Worth, the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I forget why. Why did he come here?
To annoy us?
And he did. Right? He succeeded. He succeeded at that. I'm always annoyed by him. Every time I see him, I'm annoyed. At least annoyed. Sometimes enraged. So yesterday, he made the big announcement about Russian oil. Here it is.
Today, I'm announcing the United States is targeting the main artery of Russia's economy. We're banning all imports of Russian oil and gas and energy. That means Russian oil will no longer be acceptable at U.S. ports, and the American people will deal another powerful blow to Putin's war machine. This is a move that has strong bipartisan support in the Congress and, I believe, in the country.
And he believes in the country, strong bipartisan support. And yeah, I want to ban Russian oil. That's fine. That's great. As long as you have something to replace it with, because I don't want to pay $7 a gallon for gas. And in California, it's already too late. Some are already paying like $6, $7 a gallon. We have more clips from Biden's speech yesterday, but keep in mind, let's go back in time for a minute with this clip from Barack Obama in 2016. There's a lot of people are calling Biden's first term really Obama's third term.
What you know now, do you wish like you had a third term? And I used to say, you know what, if I could make an arrangement where I had a stand-in, a front man, or front woman, and they had an earpiece in, and I was just in my basement in my sweats looking through the stuff, and then I could sort of deliver the lines, but somebody else was doing all the talking and ceremony. I'd be fine with that.
You'd be fine with that?
Anybody come to mind?
No, why?
I mean, the video kind of gave it away, I thought.
Just because...
My boss.
Yeah.
Just because Biden's head popped up when he was saying if he could just have a front man.
Oh, Lord.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible that he said that.
Jeez. And so a lot of people are just surmising here of late that, this is definitely Obama's third term that we're witnessing, and he's behind the scenes pulling the strings.
It's entirely possible. It's within the realm of possibility.
Yep.
So with that in mind, here's Joe Biden discussing oil companies yesterday.
Yeah.
We understand Putin's war against the people of Ukraine is causing prices to rise. We get that. That's self-evident. But, it's no excuse to exercise excessive price increases or padding profits or any kind of effort to exploit this situation or American consumers, exploit them. Russia's aggression is costing us all, and it's no time for profiteering or price gouging. I want to be clear about what we'll not tolerate.
Okay, be clear.
But I also want to
Speaking
acknowledge
of Obama's
those
third
firms and oil and gas industries that are pulling out of Russia and joining other businesses that are leading by example. This is a time when we have to do our part and make sure we're not taking advantage. Look, let me be clear. About two other points. First, it's simply not true that my administration or policies are holding back domestic energy production.
It's a lie.
That's simply not true.
That's simply a lie.
Even amid the pandemic, companies in the United States pumped more oil during my first year in office than they did during my predecessor's first year. We're approaching a record levels of oil and gas production in the United States, and we're on track to set a record of oil production next year. In the United States, 90% of onshore oil production takes place on land that isn't owned by the federal government. And of the remaining 10%
of our
that occurs on federal land, the oil and gas industry has millions of acres leased. They have 9,000 permits to drill now. They could be drilling right now, yesterday, last week, last year. They have 9,000 to drill onshore that are already approved. So let me be clear.
Let me be clear again.
Let me be clear. They are not
4
using
times.
them for production.
He said it 4
now. That's
freaking
their
times.
decision. These are the facts.
These are the facts.
We should be honest about the facts.
Yeah, you should be. I wish you would be honest about something, sometime. Will that ever happen? What a lying sack of crap he is.
He sucks.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
Yep.
We all know. We get that. We all know that Russia's responsible for prices going up. You've been in office for a year. They've been going up for a year. The price of oil has been going up since about the minute he took office.
Yeah.
It was $2.80 when he took over. It's $4.25 on average right now. That didn't happen all in the last 2 weeks because of Russia. Some of it did, but most of it happened prior to Russia invading Ukraine. He's a lying sack of garbage. What about the rest of these claims that oil companies are just sitting on 9,000 oil leases and just refusing to drill? Why would they do that? Just to spite us?
Yeah. Artificially pump up the price because it's not high enough yet.
This is from the National Desk publication. The Biden administration keeps pointing to the 9,000 unused gas and oil leases as a major reason why the U.S. can't increase energy production. Members of the administration have been promoting the idea that companies are free to simply start using these leases if they'd like to. These statements can be a little misleading, however.
What? No, this administration would mislead us?
Isn't that
Come
amazing?
on.
Isn't that something?
I give you my word as a Biden.
Which means so much.
Right.
Oh, my gosh. Whether it's you or Hunter, it means so much. According to a Department of the Interior report, the U.S. had more than 37,000 oil and gas leases just last year. So 9,000 is a small number comparatively. And just because an oil company has a lease doesn't mean they can just start drilling. Mm-hmm. They have to organize and safely manage their reservoir and satisfy several regulatory requirements, which have gotten in their way again from him, such as an on-site inspection, environmental review, and permit approval. Yeah. This process can take up to 10 years.
Yeah.
Experts say even if these companies start drilling more oil wells today, it could take anywhere from 6 months to years for that oil to start flowing and get to the gas pump.
And this would explain Biden's claim about, hey, there was more oil pumped in my first year than my predecessor's first year. Yeah, that's because they had to restart America's engine after Obama. Mm-hmm. So it took a while, as explained there with permits and regulations and all the hoops you have to jump through to get things started again. Somebody sent me a story about how the Biden administration, this was just from a week ago, suspended any decisions about new oil and gas drilling amid an ongoing legal battle with 10 Republican states over how to calculate the cost of fossil fuel-driven climate change. So these red states are ready to drill more oil, but Biden is in court trying to figure out, well, how much is it going to cost with climate change? Are you going to be within the parameters of the Clean Air Act? And oh my gosh, stop with your lies, Joe.
Yeah, and so they can't just start drilling on their oil leases right now. They can't because of regulations. The restrictions that they face from the Biden administration that he put in place right after he got into office. And now he stands there, looks us right in the eye, and lies about it continually. Yeah, he's evil. Mm-hmm. He's just flat out evil.
By the way, we sat here yesterday and the average price of the pump nationwide was $4.17. It's now $4.25.
8 cents in one day. 8 cents in a day.
Can't.
But don't worry about that. It's these damn oil companies.
Yeah. Sitting on those leases.
Sitting on the leases. They don't want to make money, apparently. Apparently, these oil companies are just so lazy they don't want to drill on their own land.
What was that fact from that story? 37,000?
37,000, and now it's 9,000. That is a huge
More than 4
cutback.
times, right?
Yeah. See, 9 times 4 is 36.
Yeah, I got there.
Yeah.
Yay me.
Huh. Mm-hmm. Good job.
I'm so dumb. I can't believe I got that one.
And Biden continued with this garbage yesterday, pushing for green energy as the
This
solution.
crisis is a stark reminder To protect our economy over the long term, we need to become energy independent. I've had numerous conversations over the last 3 months with our European friends of how they have to wean themselves off of Russian oil. It's just not tenable. It should motivate us to accelerate the transition to clean energy. This is a perspective extended to our European allies and future where together we can achieve greater independence. Loosening environmental regulations or pulling back clean energy investment won't. Let me expand. Will not lower energy prices for families. But transforming our economy to run on electric vehicles powered by clean energy with tax credits to help American families winterize their homes and use less energy, that will help.
Will it?
And if we do what we can, it will mean that no one has to worry about the price of the gas pump in the future. That'll mean tyrants like Putin won't be able to use fossil fuels as weapons against other nations.
They're not fossil
And
fuels.
it will make America a world leader, manufacturing and exporting clean energy technologies of the future. Countries all around the world. This is the goal we should be racing toward.
No. Man. Well, they are racing toward it.
Yeah.
They just can't get there. They can't get there. They've been racing toward it for 30 years, easily 30 years, probably more. And we're promised all the time, soon this solar thing is going to kick into gear and it is going to replace fossil fuels. It's going to be clean and efficient and plentiful and cheap. You won't believe how cheap solar can be.
Oh, yeah? Tell me about it.
Yeah. The panels themselves are only going to cost you about $100,000, and then the generator to store the energy that they produce. That's probably another $20,000 or $30,000 if you want a decent one. And so that's only $130,000 just to get started.
Wait a minute. How about on my car? Can I put my roof? Can it be a solar panel?
Yeah, you can put a solar panel there.
Yeah,
It won't do anything for you.
Could I drive around with like a windmill on my roof too?
You could.
So that'll power my car,
But
right?
again, no. And no, it won't power your car. It won't power virtually anything.
It'd look cool.
We have so many windmills. I don't know if where you live, you see this all the time, but down here in Texas and Oklahoma and all over the Southwest, these windmill farms.
These bird murderers?
Yeah. Killing billions of birds a year. Plus, they just continually spin and produce almost nothing, comparatively speaking.
Yeah.
So where is the energy actually coming from to power these electric vehicles he keeps talking about? It's plugged into fossil fuels. That's how they're being powered. You think your Tesla is running on what? Pixie dust? Where do you think the energy comes from to power up the Tesla when you get home? I'm guessing your wall socket, and that's not run by solar. It's not wind. It's probably coal. So there you go. And they're going to subsidize it. Really, like 25-1 over oil, which you're doing right now. For every dollar they spend on tax breaks for oil companies, they give $25 to solar and wind. So I don't want to hear about the subsidies that they give to oil and gas when they subsidize these solar companies up the wazoo. And when you buy a Tesla, we subsidize that to the tune of, I think, $7,000, right? Don't they give $7,000 per car, per Tesla, to these rich people that are buying Teslas? It's not cheap to buy a Tesla. I think, did they ever wind up producing enough of the $35,000 model to make any difference?
I don't know. I want the truck.
Do they have a truck out now?
It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming, but it's not out.
No, it's not out.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to have a Tesla if it traveled further than it does. My car now goes usually about 430 miles on a tank. It's about a 22-gallon tank. And so it goes 420 on a fill-up. And it takes me 5 minutes to fill it up. A Tesla goes what? What is the range on a Tesla? 280 $280. And then I don't know where I'm going to be able to charge that up because what if I'm in the middle of nowhere? I'm going from Houston to Dallas or Dallas to Houston. Or I think Tesla does have locations that you can follow.
Well,
but you pull up into a tank there or into a charging station, and it's going to take you 45 minutes just to fill it up a little bit.
yeah, and you talk about subsidies, and we're about to play a clip which will play to your point of our awesome, overqualified Secretary of the Transportation there, Pete Buttigieg.
That's true.
But yeah,
He's
you're
way
absolutely right. I mean,
overqualified.
the cheapest, fastest, easiest fuel that you can use to power our society is fossil fuels.
Yeah, it's gas and
They're always talking about lifting up these poor areas of the world, then use more fossil fuels.
Right.
Stop selling them on this expensive
They won't,
project that does no good.
They just won't.
Yeah, so we've got a prediction from Donald Trump. He predicted this day would come for America if Joe Biden became the president, followed by where we are with Pete Buttigieg. Oh, gosh, it's terrible.
We have more oil than anybody, okay? And it's an incredible thing that it's happened over the last few years, a lot of great things, and you're paying, what, $2 a gallon for your gasoline? That's okay.
Oh, dear.
You know what that's like? That's like a tax cut. That's bigger than a tax cut. If Biden got in, you'd be paying $7, $8, $9. Then they say, get rid of your car.
That's next week.
Last month, we announced a $5 billion investment to build out a nationwide electric vehicle charging network.
Oh,
so
good.
that people from rural to suburban to urban communities can all benefit from the gas savings
Everybody
of
can
driving an EV.
Right.
There you go. You got to drive an EV, and then you can take advantage of those chargers you're paying for across this nation.
And by the way, the 500,000 charging stations is more like 250 now. They're going to do about 250 of those.
Wait, 250,000?
Yeah. Yeah, it's gone from 500 to 250 because it's so expensive. Nobody's willing to spend that. And I don't want to spend that for Tesla. I mean, God bless Elon Musk, but pay for your own charging stations. It's your company. You pay for the charging station.
Keep in mind, this is the Elon Musk who's saying we better drill right now.
Right.
Drill more.
Right, because he knows we're not in a position right now to rely on wind and solar. It's not ready yet. And I've been saying that for 20 years. It's not ready yet. And when will it be? I don't know. Not in the foreseeable future. We haven't had any major breakthroughs that are going to revolutionize EV cars. They still don't go more than like 280 miles on a charge. And it still takes, what, an hour, 2 hours? How long does it take to fully recharge a Tesla or a Volt? I'd love to hear from somebody who has one. How long does it take to recharge those vehicles?
I don't know how long. I don't know if he'll tell us how long it's going to take him to charge up his car, but boy, that's Stephen Colbert. He doesn't have to worry about gas prices right now.
Well, yeah, I'm sure we shouldn't either, probably, according to him. Here's what he had to say.
I'm willing to pay $4 a gallon. Hell, I'll pay $15 a gallon.
Screw you.
Because I drive a Tesla.
Because I've got a $150,000 car in my garage.
I make $15 million a year, so I don't care I don't care if it's $15 a gallon.
And seriously, when you make $15 million a year, you don't care. That's nothing. That is nothing. It could go up to $50 a gallon. It's not a problem to you.
Oh my gosh, and I love that. So. Okay, camera guy, this is a funny punchline coming up. Let's get a cutaway to the band member. Watch this. This awkward response. Look at it. That's see, I don't drive
The rest of us don't make $15 million, Steven.
Okay. Boy, that was a funny joke. We're not driving Teslas over here in the band. Oh my gosh, he's not funny.
He's not funny,
Has he
and he's
ever
not
been
smart.
funny?
No. Oh my gosh, no. Do you remember that dumb thing he used to do on The Daily Show? It was awful. And it was the same thing every time. Oh, okay, I get it. You're making fun of Bill O'Reilly. Oh, okay, now I get it. 17 years later, you're making fun of Bill O'Reilly.
That's good. That's good.
It's still funny. Just as fresh as it was 17 years ago.
Wow.
I can't.
These elitists like him And what's the guy's
Who's
name?
the other one, though? Oh, Chuck Todd.
Chuck Todd.
The $4 million.
What's the problem? Everybody's making more money. I mean, there's an empty spot on the shelf. My gosh, you've got more money to spend, but I'm sorry there's not some products.
Yeah.
These people, I swear. I can't take it.
As of the prices right now, the average American will pay $2,000 more this year in gas. $2,000 filling up your tank, and another $1,000 at the grocery store. That's $3,000 extra dollars for the average American. The average American makes $50,000 a year, and I think that might even be the household number. Household number is between 50 and 60,000. So how do you afford that? How do you take $3,000 more in expenses and just say, okay, yeah, you're fine.
Well,
Just suck it up for the country, would you?
I mean,
suck it up.
You just limited your examples to gassing up your car and groceries.
Yeah.
You didn't factor in everything.
Those
your clothing.
commodities.
Yeah, your clothing.
Yeah.
Everything is
Home
made
heating
through
oil.
petroleum. Yes. Your
Everything.
electric bill for your little plug-in Tesla.
Everything goes up. Everything skyrockets. Don't worry about it, because you make between $2 and $20 million a year, right?
Yeah.
You rich bastards.
Mm-hmm.
What
So
are
it
you
could go
worried
up to $15.
And you don't care.
I don't care because I got a
don't
Tesla
care.
and I
I
make
gotta-
$15 million a year.
Right. And I have somebody drive me anyway.
That's true.
So
That's not even my problem.
I leave it to them to go find the charging station and sit there for 2 hours waiting for it to charge. I'm at work while they're doing that. What do you want to bet he's got a driver?
Oh,
What do you want to bet?
of course he does. I don't even have to Google it.
We know people with drivers. We know them quite
Jeffy?
well.
Jeffy has a driver. Yes.
Yeah, Jeffy. Yeah, it's Jeffy.
Yeah. Yeah. He's driven down the road in a flatbed, and he's in the back hanging out.
Uh-huh.
That was a fat joke, Jeffy. Yes, to answer your question.
But don't be stressing about all this, because they're going to spend $2.6 billion to promote gender equity worldwide. That's coming soon from the Biden administration. $2.6 billion, and I think that's worldwide, right? We're spending this.
Yeah, we're sending this money around the world.
Not just in the U.S.
Oh, yeah.
This is going around the world to promote gender equity.
Unreal.
What does that freaking mean? It doesn't even give any specifics about what they're talking about. What do you mean? Is this studying whether or not women make equal pay? Is this studying whether or not trans people are getting equity? What is it? The funds will be part of the fiscal 2023 budget request and will double the amount requested for gender programs last year. Why do we have gender programs?
Bro.
Are you serious? Gender programs. And not just us. Around the world, we're paying for other countries' gender programs. No. How about no? On this day and every day, let us recognize that all of us have a better future when women and girls can reach their full potential. And together, let's renew our efforts to advance dignity, equality, and limitless possibilities for all, according to Biden in a statement. President said International Women's Day, which was yesterday, is a time to, and the party I had last night, I'm still trying to recover from. Is still a time to recognize the achievements of women and girls, celebrate progress, and recommit to work that needs to be done.
Yeah, it does.
Ensuring that every woman and girl has that chance isn't just the right thing to do, it's also a strategic imperative that advances the prosperity, stability, and security of our nation and the world. Yet, too often, in too many places, women and girls face obstacles that limit their possibilities and undermine their participation in economic, political, and social life. Men and boys, face no obstacles.
Correct.
That's why we're not spending a penny on men and boys. Screw them.
Yeah.
Because they don't have any obstacles to overcome. Everything's just set forward for them, given to them on a silver platter.
Well, the obstacles are limited to just joining women's sports and dominating. That's what boys can do today. But I find it ironic
to increase the equity in in women's.
Just looking at increase, but
rights.
this administration spends paragraph after paragraph lauding women and girls and females. Yet they're the same ones who are all for the transgenders in sports, and boys can compete with girls. And oh my gosh, stop!
Doesn't make any sense.
Stop! But
these people are the worst.
Yeah, so we're educating the world. We're
the absolute
spending
worst.
$2.6 billion. Where's the Democrat that's going to stand up and say, we could use $2.6 billion to feed the homeless in this country? Where's that? I want to hear that take.
I don't see it anywhere over here.
It's not in there? It's not? Shoot.
No. I mean, that's a really good question. I'm looking around.
Yeah.
I don't see the
Because that's
story.
usually what they say. When they don't like the way money's being spent, we could feed homeless people with that money.
Right.
Why are we going to outer space? We could
That's right.
feed homeless people. No, let's make sure that let's talk about LGBTQ, whatever, around the world. I can't. But Florida passed that law where they're not going to be able to teach little kids. That passed
and
yesterday.
they're getting such backlash from that.
It's such a manufactured outrage.
So ridiculous. This is something on which we could all agree just a few years ago. Leave the kids out of this, okay? All right, do what you will. That's fine. We go ahead and marry each other, whatever, okay? You've got that now. Isn't that what you wanted? You wanted tolerance. You've got more than tolerance, that's for sure. You can get married to whoever you want. You can love whoever you want. Leave our kids out of it. But they won't now. But the radicals in these movements won't. This isn't about your friend or your relative or your son or daughter who's gay. This is about these radicals in the LGBTQIA2+ movement who have a different agenda. And it has never been about tolerance. It's always been about accepting, embracing, and then promoting that lifestyle. And that's exactly what we're doing now.
Wait a minute. Next thing you're going to tell me is that they're getting into preschool entities like KinderCare.
Yeah.
And trying to influence the kids there. Where was that thing, Rob? Do we have that from the KinderCare website? It's so it talks about how you can change the caps on markers, Pat, depending on how you feel, and then you can change the color that way.
God, jeez.
Yeah, right there in front of you, in your hand.
This one or this one?
Look at the one in your hand. There's a
it matches the same thing. But you know what threw me? This is in black and white, and that's not.
See, I didn't change the caps on the marker.
Why didn't you do a color printer?
Sorry.
Why didn't you print this out in color?
Because
Keith?
I'm hateful?
Then I had to look down and thought, oh, okay, yeah, that's the same thing. But I had to study it for a second.
See how cute that is? A little unicorn with the pride flag.
Yeah.
And
So after completing this activity, first of all, KinderCare it's a preschool corp with branches across America, of course. Everybody knows KinderCare,
you see the
right?
little red thing with the bell on top and stuff?
It has an extensive LGBTQ curriculum, including activities to explore gender and sexuality. This is awesome.
Yeah, it is.
You're going to love this. From KinderCare. This activity says to switch caps on markers to show what you are inside doesn't always reflect what you are on the outside. What a brilliant lesson.
What were you just saying about leave the kids alone?
Leave the kids alone. Hey, teacher.
They can't do it.
Leave them kids alone.
They can't do it.
Switch the caps on a set of markers so they don't match the colors inside. Talk with children about whether the color of the marker cap should match the color of the marker itself. Does it matter to children if what they wear on the outside represents how they feel on the inside?
Oh.
How would it feel if they weren't allowed to express their personality outwardly? So we're indoctrinating them.
Oh, totally.
We're telling them, in some cases, encouraging them to feel this way.
Yeah.
To say, hey, you know what? You're not really a boy. I think you might be a girl.
You know what else you're doing? You're really annoying kids. You're actually having the opposite effect, because I don't know about you. When I was a kid and I'd grab a marker and it had like the yellow top and it was a green marker, I'd be angry. I'd be like, what? Who put the wrong top on this? So now there's going to be backlash. Little kids are going to be upset at the LGBTQ movement.
And then they'll be called hateful homophobes if they do that.
Go sit in the corner.
So, be kicked out of school.
There are no more absolutes for kids anymore.
Nope.
There's just not. We aren't teaching anything in black and white. Oh, no, that's a bad thing. Yeah, there's some things are black and white. There's right and wrong. and trying to indoctrinate kids into sexuality at this age.
So bad.
Oh my
So
gosh.
bad.
So wrong.
So we're going to talk about this Florida, the Florida Democrats that are chanting "gay, gay, gay" at a rally against the sex ed bill, and we'll tell you about the sex ed bill coming up next. All right, got some tweets here. So we're just about to get into chewing the fat with Jeffy.
Oh yeah.
Toothpaste Words tweets, Biden says it's costing us all. It's not costing him anything.
Thank you.
It's the working people getting screwed. That's right.
And
all of his expenses are paid for. You think
Yes.
he's paying a high mortgage on the White House? I know. I don't think so. I think we
charge
had a
him rent.
30-year mortgage on that, and it's been paid for a while.
I'm willing to bet he's got Delaware paid off too.
Oh, you know he does.
I'm not saying that he
entire
paid it
state,
off,
you
but
mean.
someone
Paid it off.
He's
Yeah.
paid off the entire state of Delaware. Yep.
It's fascinating how much money he has when
Isn't
he's
it?
been a public servant for
Isn't it?
50 years.
And I don't know if you know it, but it's not a cheap penny to take Amtrak back and forth every day like he claims he did.
Right.
I mean, we've done that
Right.
breakdown.
And he acts like that's the most middle class thing in the world.
I know.
You take Amtrak every day back and
I
forth to
know.
Washington? That's a fortune.
That's a fortune. A fortune.
We lived in the back east
Yes.
for 3 years. And when you take that,
Taking Amtrak was when we missed New Jersey Transit.
Right.
And that was, it was expensive.
Look, New Jersey Transit is, and what was it called? Going up to Connecticut, Metro North,
Okay.
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
So either of those are expensive enough as it is.
Yeah. And
It
that's
costs
with all
what?
our subsidies.
$400 a month, I think, to go
For
back and forth to
something, yeah.
for something
For the monthly pass.
for the monthly pass.
Yeah.
Now, if you do Amtrak, it's going to be in the thousands a month.
Absolutely.
In the thousands. And then I think there's a step up from that called, what was a really nice one?
The Acellas?
Acellas
Yeah,
or
the
Acela
Acellas,
or
yeah.
whatever. But Amtrak's really expensive.
Yes,
You're not
very
a
much
middle
so.
class guy.
But
if
he
you're taking
told us
that every day.
yesterday he was in Fort Worth, and darn it, I forgot, or I would have been out there where he was at, because, why wouldn't you want to be there when the president is in town?
Right.
And he told us that it was Russia's fault for the high gas prices.
Yeah, he
not
did.
Mr. President!
Gonna go up.
What are you going to do about it?
Much right now.
Can't do much.
Russia's responsible.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
That's what,
And this is going to be the talking point that is going to piss me off for the next year.
yeah, absolutely.
Oh, it's good. Nothing I can do now.
Yeah.
Russia's responsible.
And the media is going to run cover for him because the day after Putin invaded, CBS News tweeted out a story that said inflation and gas prices go up as Putin invades Ukraine. Basically, the article said Putin's to blame for your high costs everywhere.
And they'd gone up for the entire year he was in
dramatically.
office. So it went from $2.80 to close to $4 a gallon without Russia invading Ukraine. Now it's at $4.25 because Russia invaded Ukraine. It's going up a little bit faster.
Lowest I saw driving in this morning here in the DFW area was $3.99.
Wow. Really? For a regular unleaded?
Yes.
Jeez.
Now, if you're listening to this podcast in the afternoon, chances are the national average is up even higher
Driving
than
home to
$4.25.
$3.99 was $4.20.
Yeah, but don't worry about it. It's Russia's fault, and there's nothing he can do about
Yeah.
it.
So
Nothing he can do. I mean, you could open up every spigot in the United States from Alaska to off the coast of Florida, and it wouldn't help a bit.
Sorry.
Wouldn't help at all. It's too late. We can't do that.
Putin's fault.
Plus, climate change. We don't want to contribute to
that's
climate
right.
change.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, we don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, if you will. I don't know what that has to do with
Yeah, I
it.
don't know either.
It's a good old saying, though.
It is, isn't it? Oh, man. So he was also saying something weird yesterday, racially, again, like he always does in Fort Worth.
Bizarre.
He had some kind of weird. He was standing there with some people.
Yeah, there were 3 congressmen
who
were large guys, and he had this comment.
The 3 congressmen you have here, 2 of them look like they could They really could and did play ball, and the other one looks like he could bomb you.
He could bomb you.
He could bomb you?
And do we have a picture of the three congressmen that in question? So we've got.
Which one looks like he could bomb
Yeah, which one's
you?
the bomber?
guy at the mic.
Oh, my God.
The guy at the mic looks like he could
We got
bomb
two
you.
ball players.
Well,
and
that's what he's saying.
one guy could bomb you.
Okay, why do they look like ball players? A, is it because
You know what? I gotta find
they're
out.
minorities?
I gotta
You know
find
why,
out.
Whitey?
Yeah, I do know why.
I need to find out who
I
the
do.
two ball players are, and then we'll figure out who the bomber is.
That is incredible.
He is
Okay,
just
so
a racist.
even if it's a compliment, that they look like they're ball players, that's still racism because you're
Absolutely.
stereotyping people based on the way they look. And then you're saying he could be a bomber, so you're saying what?
I was like, he
Are
could
you
bomb
saying
you.
about
Oh, he was talking about military. He was military.
He's talking about Middle Eastern people. Darker skinned, complected Middle Eastern people.
How dare you?
That they look like they could bomb you? Is that what you're
Yeah. If you're listening to this, there's
The guy is
two persons of color and a white dude, and so we're trying.
Although
Yeah.
he's a dark-skinned white
Yes.
dude.
yeah.
So this just is Joe Biden.
It absolutely is.
People will try to excuse that and say,
Absolutely.
"Oh, come on, that's not what." Yes, it is
just
what he's
trying
saying.
to be friendly.
No, he's just a racist.
Absolutely. 100%.
And he doesn't have a governor now. He's got he's got nothing inside him that stops him from saying these things. And so to him, there's nothing wrong with that.
What?
Just like if you don't vote for me, you're not black. That's just Joe being no. That's Joe being a racist. The racist he is.
I know.
All right, we got to chew the fat now. All right, Jeffy. In a while.
Oh, did you see that? A lot of people have been tagging us on Twitter saying that car commercial ripped off this segment. The chick rolls up her windows so she doesn't have to hear the kids playing the instruments.
They stole that from this.
That's right. You're welcome.
They stole that from us.
Yes. We should be. How much do we get for that?
We should $1 million, $2 million.
All right, 2.
Yeah. Should definitely get residuals from it. Here we go.
I want Stephen Colbert money for them to have the right to use this.
I'm okay with that.
That guy.
The worst, isn't he? He's the worst.
Absolutely.
And on top of all of it, not funny.
No, it's not funny. And there's no way, even if he has a Tesla, he doesn't drive that
No way.
thing. He absolutely has to drive it.
This does not get better, does it?
All right, here's Jeffy to
If
chew
I
the
could
fat.
have a driver, I'd have one. No doubt about it, though.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I
That's
would.
good living. Oh, man.
I'd rather just drive.
No.
And you're with somebody all the time trying to make small talk.
No, they don't. They won't, though. They work for you. They're your driver.
true,
They
yeah.
know. Shut up.
They know.
They know.
Shut up.
Good news for some anyway from the Supreme Court on Monday. They will not review the sexual assault case against Bill Cosby, leaving in place a decision.
Which makes you
by
happy,
the-
I'm guessing. Right? Because
What makes Bill happy?
You've been for Cosby the whole
Well,
time.
yes. I mean,
First of all,
that was ridiculous.
He's 80 years old. So
That was ridiculous that he was charged on
it's
that.
Bill Cosby. He's America's dad.
I mean, he still has a civil trial coming up.
Oh, wow.
In
does
Los
he?
Angeles in May. Yeah, the one
So
lady
he's not out of the woods yet.
has accused Cosby of assaulting her at the Playboy Mansion when she was 15 in 1974.
What was she doing at the Playboy
in
Mansion?
1974.
At 15 years old. What are you doing at the
I
Playboy
don't
Mansion?
know, but if you're at the Playboy Mansion,
Ah, boy.
What?
hello,
How's that sentence end?
hello.
Who was it they were recently accusing of sexual? Oh, Jerry Lewis. Jerry Lewis,
well-
who, by the way, is dead.
Yeah.
Has been dead for 6 years now and can't defend himself. I hate that when
I
that.
know. And they've
Why didn't you come out before now?
And they really have been throwing all kinds of rocks at Hugh Hefner.
Yeah.
Since his death,
Yeah, well,
and what a
he's-
horrible guy he is. I mean, the guy is the American dream
No.
personified. I don't know
No.
what you're.
No. he's
Yes,
not.
yes, he is.
No.
Oh my gosh. Hugh Hefner? The American dream is all about Hugh Hefner.
Ick.
That's
all I can say about Hugh Hefner.
Don't eye me.
Ick. You don't know where that's
Don't
been.
eye me.
Well, you do know
You
where
do.
that's been.
Yes, you do.
It's been in a lot of icky
I
places.
know. Bless his heart.
You imagine that mansion that was supposedly a mansion? That had to be the scummiest, nastiest place on earth.
Stop.
Ick.
No way.
Come on. But Jerry Lewis, hello. They're talking about movies he made in 1962.
Yeah.
Or 1958.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear about it in 1959 and 1963. I don't want to hear about it now, 7 years after he's dead.
Right. I know.
Come on. That's ridiculous.
And speaking of guys like Hugh Hefner and Jerry Lewis, Bill is out, so he's probably able to have milk duds. But I see where Harvey Weinstein is in trouble. He was busted for milk duds in his cell. Now the story broke last week, but it happened in November, so I'm guessing he's okay now. Mm-hmm. But they were saying that they found milk duds in his cell after his face-to-face meeting with his attorney.
It's considered contraband or something, right?
Yes. And so he claimed that he brought him from New York. I had him when they brought me to L.A.
They
from
think
New York.
his lawyer gave it.
Yes. So they're, all this time, I mean, since November, I don't know how many visits he's had. I haven't seen the logs. I don't know how many times the attorney's been there, but they just wanted to be able to go through all the attorney stuff. And I mean, heaven forbid, Los Angeles, the city and county and state of California that have been letting out criminals, violent criminals. I mean, I know Harvey's a criminal, but violent criminals, they've been letting them out. But heaven forbid Harvey Weinstein have milk duds.
Yeah, I wasn't that worked up over the milk dud thing. Maybe I should be.
I know. Well, it's contraband, right?
Yeah.
And it's Harvey, so
sure.
Whatever. All right. Plus, he hasn't been well.
Oh no!
And so
don't say that.
I don't think he's supposed to have the milk duds. I think he's got he's got the diabetes.
So they're looking out for his health.
Diabetes.
Look
fat.
Look.
He's got other issues, so he probably's not supposed to have the old milk duds.
Yeah, probably.
Plus,
not.
if you've had milk duds from the time you were in New York into L.A., I mean,
those are stale.
What are you hanging out of those for?
They're hard as a rock now.
I know, but
those are
I
not
guess
fresh, delicious
you
milk
want something
duds.
to.
When was the last time you had milk duds?
Oh, not long ago. I love milk duds.
Oh, really?
Oh, Halloween, probably.
Yeah, Halloween.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a milk dud fan.
I didn't get any
I'm
milk
one of the
duds.
few.
I'm a little bummed.
I'm one of the few in my neck of the woods that likes the milk duds, so they just set them down next to me. Mm-hmm. I'm a fan.
Okay.
Maybe just me and Harvey. How about those Paralympics, huh?
How about them?
How about those Paralympics?
Enough.
How we
doing?
doing?
Get enough.
It's going on, through the 13th. We have until China invades Taiwan. But the U.S. not doing that well.
What a mess that's going to be, by the way.
I know.
The U.S. isn't doing
U.S.
well?
not doing that well. It's in as of this morning, they're in 7th place.
Oh, man.
Of the old Paralympics. China in 1st. Then Ukraine and Canada are 2 and 3. I mean, Canada is more golds than Ukraine, but Ukraine
and
has
they threw
more
out
medals.
the Russian Olympic team, didn't they? Or the Olympic Committee?
Yeah.
The Russian Olympic Committee
you can't
was
have,
told to leave.
Friends of
and I
friends
think
of
Belarus.
friends. You can't have a restaurant. You can't have a store. You can't have, if you have anything to do with Russia, you're done. Have a nice day. You're not doing any business. So the U.S. has 13 total medals in the old Paralympics. So congratulations to the Paralympians.
To all the Paralympians.
What channel has that been on?
It's right there. All you can do is watch it on NBC.
No, I'm saying it's on NBC?
It's on their,
Prime?
on their platforms.
It's on one of their platforms, yeah.
Oh, wow.
One or two. I don't know.
What channel again?
Actually, I haven't watched a single.
No.
I've watched less because I haven't even seen any of the Paralympic clips.
No, I haven't either.
They're not even promoting it with clips, or at least I haven't seen any. At least I was seeing some of the Olympic clips on social media. So I didn't go out of my way to watch any of the events, but I was seeing the culmination of them. But the Paralympics, I haven't even seen any of it. Yeah. So it's really, I'm heartbroken.
Yeah.
Heartbroken. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go out of my way.
I'm feeling that.
See if
I'm feeling that.
We could make that happen. Hey, this portion of Chewing the Fat here on Pat Unleashed sponsored by Chewing the Fat podcast, the daily podcast.
Yeah, and
available on all platforms.
If I might be so bold, it's also brought to us by Patriot Mobile.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love
nice.
these guys.
All right.
How much more important than it's ever been is it to switch to Patriot Mobile?
You have to do companies that you believe in, right?
You do.
And the ones that believe in you.
Yes. and share your values. That's why we're proud to partner with Patriot Mobile. It's America's only Christian conservative cell phone provider, and they offer, of course, you don't have to compromise the quality to have somebody that shares your values. You get the same nationwide coverage because they use the same towers. So how could it be any different? So they use the same towers as the major carriers. It's just that they don't give your hard-earned cash to Planned Parenthood or other left-wing causes. Patriot Mobile also has plans to fit any budget, and their 100% U.S.-based customer support team provides exceptional customer support. You're going to understand the people you're talking to because they're not speaking broken English. That's not to take a shot at anybody. It's just hard on the phone when you can't understand the representative that's trying to help you through whatever problem you have. Go to patriotmobile.com/Pat or call 972-PATRIOT. You'll get free activation with the offer code PAT. Veterans and first responders, it's even more important because you'll save even more. So make the switch today. Support a company that loves America and shares your values. It's Patriot Mobile. patriotmobile.com/Pat. patriotmobile.com/Pat or 972-PATRIOT.
Pat Gray.
That's me.
You're listening to Pat Gray Unleashed and the Chewing the Fat segment. Big news in sports around the country, really. I mean, we got all kinds of sports news.
Is this the Aaron
going
Rodgers
on.
thing?
I mean, we can talk about Aaron staying in Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations to Green Bay. We've got Russell Wilson from Seattle being traded to the Broncos.
What a mega trade.
Yeah.
I mean, Drew Lock as part of that trade going to Seattle along with a couple of players.
Is he going to be their starter?
I don't know.
Don't know.
I don't know. We have announcers going to the bank right now.
That's for sure.
They're getting big money. You got Al Michaels just sitting at home waiting to collect. Who's going to pay me the most money? Where am I going to go? I mean, Aikman is going to Monday night.
Right.
And he claimed in an interview that Fox never even courted him.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, he said they never.
They just let him go.
They called him to
See ya.
They called him to congratulate him when the deal was announced.
Weird.
Oh, my gosh.
I know.
And who are they going to
Street.
get instead? Herb Street?
I know.
Herb
Herb Street's
Street's on
going to
Thursday night.
Amazon, right?
Yeah,
Or
Thursday
Herb
night.
Street's going to Amazon.
And he's still going to be doing college stuff.
That's
So
amazing.
who's going to fill in for Aikman then?
I don't know.
We don't know.
Fine. Still
I
many
don't know.
dominoes left to fall.
Oh, I didn't mention the WNBA fantasy women's basketball that's going to start.
Oh, wow.
No, there's not enough
Right.
time.
No, we're all out of time.
Oh,
Shoot, that
Oh,
would have been
come on!
You need to lead with that next time. You know, because that's huge news.
No WNBA talk today.
Darn it.
We got another hour.
Darn.
Could you do it then?
Yeah, maybe we could squeeze it in,
I
but
don't
I
know.
doubt it. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Pat Gray on Radio Network.
Welcome. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Jeffy's really excited
All
about
right,
this WNBA
let's
story
go. I
because
wanna
it's so
get to the-
big. Everybody's been calling us
Yeah.
and
Let's get
texting
it on.
and tweeting.
Yeah.
What's the WNBA story? Why did you skip it?
I'm
on,
sorry. I ran out of time during Chewing the Fat.
Yeah.
ESPN yesterday announced it's launching fantasy women's basketball.
Yes!
With the 2022 WNBA season. Now, that's so.
Thank you for teaching me how to love again, Jeffy.
You're
This
welcome.
is good stuff.
You're welcome.
Yeah!
Listen, this is a full-scale ESPN fantasy game
You bet it
dedicated to Major Women's League. It's the
I'm going to
first
sign
time
us
that
up
that's
right now
happening,
for a
so.
league, guys. So we're gonna.
I
Okay,
mean,
yeah,
they
please do.
claim that
We're gonna do
WNBA
it.
saw their viewership grow by 20%.
Oh, I think that's a conservative estimate. I bet it was more like 40 or 60 or 600% because everybody loves the WNBA. Do they not?
Well,
They grew by 20%?
that's what they claim.
Really?
Last year, yeah. I don't know.
All right.
We were desperate for sports, if you'll recall, about a year ago.
I mean, and if, you're
True.
not going to have Major League Baseball to kick around, so WNBA might actually get some viewers.
Yeah. And that brings up, former WNBA player. Is she still in the WNBA?
Well, she
Brittany Griner.
She was over there playing, right, in the league.
was so she was in a Russian league, so I don't know
she's
if-
still in the WNBA because they're off. She's over there
Oh,
just
okay.
making some
So
money.
maybe she just plays
Yeah.
all year round
Yeah.
somewhere. But she's being held by the Russians now. Brittany Griner, probably one of the best
premier
women's
for them,
basketball players on the planet. She came from Baylor and has been really a huge influence on women's basketball for a long time.
Absolutely.
And everybody's just kind of holding their breath and hoping that we can do something to get her out of there.
She shouldn't have been smuggling.
All right.
Yeah,
Rooski.
right. So she had a vape pipe.
That's what they
right?
claim, right?
They claim there was hashish oil in it.
And
get out of here. I don't even believe that.
They say they found it, and this was after she had gone through their security, right? So then they researched her.
They're looking for something.
Yeah.
They wanted an American prisoner, a high-profile person.
Would say that it was, planted. Not me. I wouldn't say that.
I would not be surprised
and if this
at all.
nation gets her back home, I'm guessing she won't kneel when the national anthem is played anymore.
Yeah, I hope not. That's true. She did have that issue.
Yeah.
She did have that issue, and it was agonizing.
That's what I love about the country.
I don't want anything bad to happen to her.
Yeah, exactly.
And here, hopefully, she will realize when we get her back. Do you see the difference now? You see what kind of country this is now? You appreciate it now, or not?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Yes. No.
Maybe you should look into some of the things you're pissed off about.
Well, this should give her
details.
This should give her a little time.
True. That's true. Let's send her some literature that she can study while she's there. All right. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Let's take some calls here from Mark in Pennsylvania. Hey, Mark, you're on the Blaze.
Hey, nice talking to you, Pat.
You too.
Keith, great job. Hi, Jeffrey.
Hey, baby.
Oh, wait, what?
Only kidding. Love you too, Jeff. Hey, Biden yesterday really showed his lack of understanding about the petroleum industry. If he lifted restrictions and regulations today,
yeah,
the markets, speculation markets, would drop like crazy, and the price would drop right now.
Yep.
This thing about there's nothing I can do about it now is all BS.
You're right.
And that $2,000 you were talking about earlier, that's so much more than what my car payments are now. I couldn't afford that.
Right.
On top of everything else going up.
Right.
And real quick, last Thanksgiving, I was out on the Pennsylvania Turnpike, and I stopped at this place. There are 7 Tesla charging stations, all full, and all with 7 more cars waiting to get in line, to get in there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I went by that. I went by that charging station in Waco.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it.
Where, they were rode up charging.
In Waco?
In Waco, yeah.
Really?
But now, it takes forever to charge them too, right? So,
when you go to the South Lake Town Center, they have...
they've got a few.
20 or something?
Yeah, they've got
I don't know. It's a bunch. And I never see anybody in them. But if there's any place that has a bunch of Teslas,
I know.
It's South Lake. So
yeah, but the people in South Lake, are they going to the charging stations?
No, I don't.
Probably.
Although that seems like a convenient place because it takes an hour or two to charge it fully, and so you're just shopping around at the various stores there.
I don't want to walk. I don't want to park where they have those charging stations and then have to walk all the way into the
half
Sound
a
Center.
block to the Apple store.
That's not going to happen.
That's true. Charlie in Texas. Hi, you're on the Blaze.
Well, good morning, Pat.
Morning.
Keith, Jeffy. How you guys doing this morning?
Doing well. You?
Doing well.
Good.
A little bit ticked off with this the Biden oil thing here.
Huh.
But,
yeah.
It's a surprise. People are upset about that.
I have to agree with Mark. I'm a retired oil field worker. I was in the oil field for 42 years. I worked in the Gulf of Mexico a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's true. There's a lot of leases out there, but the government makes it so hard with the regulations that you have to get a permit to drill.
Right.
And these permits can take anywhere from 30 to 100 days.
On top of which, I was hearing where a lot of these already permitted drilling sites aren't producing any oil. So they want to go and here's an idea. The oil companies want to be able to go and drill where there is oil.
Yes.
And they can't get those.
Another good point.
Yep. It's just incredible.
Yep. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Charlie. Anything else?
No,
we
it
can
just
help you
makes
with?
me mad because they don't tell the truth of the facts or anything.
I know.
Yep. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
It's the lies are overwhelming from all
agonizing
from all
agonizing. So yeah, even if they were to remove all of the restrictions on the oil companies right now, go drill wherever you want, go drill as much as you want. It would take 6 months to a year for that oil that they start drilling to go through the refining process and wind up at the gas tanks.
Right, but Charlie is right.
But
yes,
it relieves the pressure, and then the futures market starts to go down, and the price will come down over time.
And people are already thinking about, okay, good.
Right.
Ooh, we're feeling better. We're having a little
and that
bit
has a
of
lot
weight
to
off
do
the
with
shoulders. Yes.
You notice it goes up immediately during any crisis. And that's not because the supply is any different already. And so the same thing happens the other way, just a little bit slower. But when things calm down, so will the price. But these people aren't. I mean, Biden doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want, and they've admitted that. They don't want to drill oil.
And we touched on it a little bit last week when I was here, either Wednesday or Friday, but what's the line? Where do the American people say,
I've wondered that myself.
Enough.
Right. And then what does that mean, though?
Don't care
what do they do?
I don't know. But that's what I'm saying. I don't know what that actually means.
Yeah, I've heard they don't like it when
tough?
you wander around the Capitol building. So I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard that somewhere.
We pay for it.
Right. But you can't parade there.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Oh,
if you're planning to parade.
I understand there's fencing now, so I couldn't get there anyway.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They're never going to bring that
They're scared
down.
of you.
No way.
Not a chance.
They took it down, and they finally found a reason to put it back up. They're not taking it back down.
This was a post from Pathead Brutus Maximus about what's happening on the ground in Ukraine. It's a guy in Kiev, just kept his normal routine despite all that's going on.
Look at that.
Took a little bike ride surrounded by tanks.
I will say this. This was early on.
Hold on, but look at the punchline there.
And I love the punchline. Cyclists think they own the road even in a war.
Amen. And that couldn't.
That's so true.
Truth. Absolutely.
Good stuff.
Absolutely. So perhaps even now, as the invasion continues, those bicyclists are still out there thinking they own the road. Agonizing.
Yeah. Yes, it is. This interesting poll as well from, let's see, who did this poll? Quinnipiac. So it's a pretty respected polling group. As Ukrainians valiantly fight to defend their nation against this Russian invasion, Quinnipiac University national poll of U.S. adults asked people whether they would fight or flee if they faced the same situation. So if the U.S. was ever invaded by anybody, do you flee? Do you go to Canada or Mexico or wherever? Or do you stay and fight for your country?
100% said they stay and fight because this is America. We believe in it.
Like
red, white, and blue.
Ever so slightly lower than that.
Really?
Now, it's 68% of Republicans said they stay and fight. 68%.
That's still too low.
That's too low.
I agree.
Among independents, 57% said they'd stay and fight.
Okay.
Among Democrats,
40%.
So 60% flee, which doesn't surprise me at all. They don't love this country enough to stay and fight for it.
That's a big percentage.
They don't love it enough.
And after we successfully defend this nation, then they come right
Yeah,
back.
that's a big
guys.
percentage of
That's
Republicans and independents that won't fight.
Yeah.
I mean, really, of course.
Well, it's 32% of Republicans. Yeah.
So while I'm in no way hoping there's an invasion, you're telling me that this would mean that 60%
of Democrats leave the country. That's not bad.
Lemonade from lemons, right?
Right.
Plus, I mean, I don't necessarily want to fight myself, but I'll be right behind you, Keith.
Okay.
Man,
that sounds good.
I am right behind you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean,
100% of the way.
You're still going to leave a lot of area exposed.
And it's interesting because it's interesting because Americans, Republicans have the guns to stay and fight with.
Yeah, it's a good
Democrats
point.
don't have any. You would assume.
Mm-hmm.
And in Ukraine,
Well, there's just not registered over there.
in Ukraine, they're giving away all these guns. They're
And we were all
distributing
for
guns.
it. We were all-
And the left applauded that,
Yep.
praised that. Oh, isn't that wonderful that they're distributing guns to their population? Wait, what? Wait. How often have we told you that this is exactly what gun rights are all about? Not hunting, not fishing, not even necessarily to keep yourself safe from criminals, although it can be about all that.
Yes.
The main purpose that the founders intended was to protect yourself against tyranny. That's exactly what's happening in Ukraine, and that's what we're trying to do here. These hypocrites can't seem to understand that.
No, they don't.
Isn't that amazing? And the only reason we think that it's great that these Ukrainians are fighting for their country the way they do is because they're white. And for the most part, Christian. Joy Reid brought that home to us yesterday. Here she is
The
telling
world
us.
is paying attention because this is happening in Europe. If this was happening anywhere else, would we see the same outpouring of support and compassion? But we don't need to ask ourselves if the international response would be the same if Russia unleashed their horror on a country that wasn't white and largely Christian. Because Russia has already done it in Syria. This is a teachable moment for us.
We were in an uproar.
We were afraid to call
Pause it
out
for a second.
our own industry.
Everybody was concerned about that. And in fact, we had troops and military personnel and bombing missions there for a time. But we were so war weary with that that we didn't push it hard because we didn't want to be involved in yet another Middle Eastern war.
I don't know.
There's a big difference
I don't want to be involved in this one either.
Yeah, I don't either. And if they started heading that direction, I'd be very opposed to it. But let's see what else she has to say.
There is a lot of soul searching that we need to do in Western media about why some wars and lives seem to matter more than others, and why some refugees get the welcome mat while others get the wall.
Oh, that's cute.
Why is your garbage network covering the war in Ukraine nonstop, and they didn't in Syria? Well, why don't you ask your own management about it, Joy? It's not like that's just Fox News, because everybody's covering this.
Yeah.
Everybody's behind Ukraine. And for her to allege that it's just because of racism that we're behind the Ukrainians, it's despicable.
In Christianity. I've got news for you, Joy. Ain't nobody that watches your network, very few that are like, yes, I'm for this because we got to defend Christianity in the Western world. Stop.
Yeah. If Russia invaded, pick a nation that's predominantly black,
Rwanda.
The Congo, Rwanda, would we be concerned about that? Of course we would.
Of course.
Especially if they're just indiscriminately bombing civilian targets. We would talk about that. Maybe because the surrounding countries around Ukraine are all NATO countries, and if they step into those countries, we're treaty bound to do something militarily about it. Maybe that piques interest a little bit.
Which I don't know that I necessarily am a fan of that either. I feel like
going to war for Estonia? No, thank you.
I feel like like the United States should. So you know what? We're behind you. Go ahead.
Good luck.
I'm with you.
Good luck, Lithuania. We'll send you some milk duds, okay? Get some milk duds from Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, Harvey's got some extra.
God, we'll send them out to you. Have a nice day. I just don't want the military action.
I know.
I really don't. All right, let me tell you about Omega XL. We have 360 joints from our necks down to our feet. That's 360 joints that take a beating every day, and just with your daily activity and just through aging, which is why your joints hurt so often. So for me, when my elbow joint became inflamed, I finally broke down and started taking Omega XL. I was skeptical. I'll admit it. Thought, it's all natural. That's not going to do anything. Well, it did. It built up in my system, started relieving the pain after about a week. After 2 weeks, the pain was gone. They say to give it about 3 weeks. And usually then that builds up to the point where it will do you a lot of good. Now, maybe you've tried everything, but you haven't tried this yet. Please give it a shot. It could change your life. Omega XL can restore your SPMs, which are what keep your joints like they were young. They'll rejuvenate those joints and your muscles so you can move like when you were young. Order Omega XL at omegaxl.com/Pat. When you buy the first bottle, they're going to give you a second one for free. omegaxl.com/Pat. You buy one, you get one free. Or just call 1-800-844-4888.
You are listening to Pat Gray on the Blaze Radio Network. Gray returns on the Blaze Radio Network.
CNN's reporting that Chernobyl has been damaged. 48 hours until potential leaks.
I mean, I saw the movie. It was
the
it was
Chernobyl
damaged
movie
a while ago.
Yeah, it was 1986, if I'm not mistaken.
And we're just now getting reports about it.
I know.
It seems like
It's been re-damaged, people. Okay, it's been
this is an update.
damaged.
I see.
Okay.
So we'll keep an eye on that. In the meantime, a member of the Ukrainian parliament tells us what Ukraine is fighting for right now. This will inspire you.
For the rest of us that aren't Ukrainians, I think the world, quite frankly, Kira, is surprised by the will of the Ukrainian people to stand up and fight. Are you?
Well, I'm not surprised. We have been fighting Putin for the last 8 years, and we had 3 revolutions in our country when we did not agree with what was going on with the direction of where we're moving in. But right now, it's a critical time because we know that we not only fight for Ukraine, we fight for this new world order for the democratic countries.
Wait.
We knew that we are the shield
Hold it.
for the Europe.
Okay.
We
I'm
knew
sorry.
that we are protecting not only Ukraine, we are protecting all the other countries.
She said something
that will be
earlier
next.
I got hung up on.
Yeah?
Yeah. What was that? The New
World Order.
Yeah. Well,
That's a red flag, huh?
The Euro, yeah.
Yeah, somewhat of a red flag. Now, if that's the same New World Order I've been on the lookout for the last 35 years, then yeah, that's a problem. And maybe that's why we're nervous about this whole all in for Ukraine
I mean,
thing.
we're kind of seeing it, right? I mean, anybody who is mentioned it earlier, anybody that friends of friends of friends that has anything to do with Russia, you're locked out. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're not doing business at all. And in fact, they just stopped India. Bangladesh was supposed to get a big shipment of vaccines. Mm-hmm. And they said, "Ooh, you didn't vote to sanction Russia at the UN. So, man, look at those vaccines. You're not gonna get those." Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Sounds like India actually came out ahead there.
Okay, well, but I'm just saying, now you can't even say, well, we want to think about it.
No,
we don't
I'm
want
with
to
you.
sanction
I
it.
hear you.
Nope.
Oh, by the way, update on Chernobyl. The safeguard system no longer transmitting data. So we're fine. I mean, I'm sure everything's totally fine.
I'm sure we don't need to know any of that.
We don't need to know
right?
what's going on there.
What do you...
Okay.
I hate these picky people who want to know that the
What's
safeguards
going to happen?
are...
The giant hogs that are already around the area die. So
what?
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Wow. Again, if they're using if she's talking about the New World Order that we know about, but it leads me to believe that she was because she said this new New World Order. She seemed to be talking about the Great Reset that they're trying to bring about. I don't know. It's a little fishy. It's a little strange. This is unprecedented territory we're in because never in the history of the planet have we combined so unanimously against one country. It's never happened before.
It's weird.
And you don't just have countries against countries. You've got corporations against the companies or the countries.
And against individual
Russia.
Russians.
Yeah.
With their credit cards and stuff.
Against the Russian people, which I thought that was a thing we try to avoid, is to punish the people for the government's stupid moves. But everybody from, here's just a quick list.
There were hundreds of companies.
Hundreds, yeah. Starbucks, Coke, Pepsi, Apple, Netflix. How does a country exist without Netflix? Is that even possible? I don't know. You might as well just turn it off.
This is cruel and unusual.
Yeah. Just, push the button and shut her down.
We surrender.
No Netflix. Sorry, we can't go on. We didn't see it coming. We didn't know it was going to be this extreme. Okay, we're pulling out. Shell has left Russia. Visa and MasterCard, as I think you mentioned. We also have...
And the social media companies, outside, other than, Netflix, obviously, but social media companies are pulling out, which, that's...
Yeah, that's pretty big.
feels like I'd like to know what's going on. I know they're trying to, we're worried about misinformation, but I'd like to maybe have an idea of what's going on.
Adidas, Adobe. Let me see some others you might know. Airbnb, Airbus, Alphabet, which is Google, Amazon, American Express. These are just the A's. Aston Martin. Russians won't have access to Aston Martin.
Well, they couldn't anyway. Right? The oligarchs are what's
yeah, right.
Anyway,
they bought
right?
all of them.
Yeah. I mean, they just announced McDonald's was shutting down.
McDonald's,
KFC. There's not going to be any. There's not going to be any kernel going on in Russia. I mean,
BMW, Boeing. Let's see, Cisco Systems, Chanel. If I can't get Chanel perfume, life isn't really worth living.
So now you're on board.
I'm on board.
I see.
Comcast, Daimler, Dell Technology, Deloitte. Jeez.
I know, it's overwhelming.
It's FedEx, Ford, General Motors, GoDaddy, Harley Davidson, IKEA, Intel, Lego. Oh, no. Now you're punishing the kids. Levi's, Mazda, Mercedes, Nike, virtually everybody. Virtually, they aren't going to be able to buy anything anymore unless it's Russian made. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Point of personal privilege.
Yes.
Pat Gray is here, and he's unleashed.
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
Right. Exactly what he said. In Florida, there's yet another huge controversy.
Yeah.
This time, Florida Democrats going through I think they were going through the Capitol building, right? The state Capitol, chanting "gay, gay, gay."
Oh no, you got us.
Powerful. It was powerful.
So stupid.
Yeah, you're gonna bring the state to its knees by chanting that. Is that like chanting the Candyman 3 times in a mirror?
Oh, don't do that. No.
So you chant "gay, gay, gay," and a gay person shows up? Is that what happens here? I don't really know what this means.
I might be for that.
You might be for it?
I don't know.
Yeah. So they're saying that the gay and transgender bill is, obviously discriminatory. This bill would ban elementary schools and kindergartens from discussing sexual orientation in classes through the third grade.
Yeah, DeSantis has
kindergarten through third grade.
DeSantis has been really strong on this.
He's strong on a lot of things.
They keep asking him about it, and he keeps, hollering back at them. Where?
Yeah, do we have
where
that?
does it say?
Do we have the DeSantis thing? No. So
the word "gay" is not in this bill. Period.
Right.
It's not. It's just don't teach little kids about sex. Let them.
And I don't care if it's heterosexual sex.
Right.
I don't want my kindergarten to hear from you.
Precisely.
Your, sexual thoughts. I'll take care of that.
Will you?
I will. I did. Yes. I've got 6 healthy, normal children who are now adults. And they're all practically perfect.
Wow. Flout your privilege. Flout that privilege, baby.
Every one of them. The bill, titled the Parental Rights in Education Act, has been dubbed the Don't Say Gay Bill by detractors, which became a major theme of Monday's rally, which is why they went through the halls saying gay. Ouch, you're really hurting us.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
Don't do that in Tallahassee, Florida.
And, of course, as always, they're misrepresenting the bill, wildly misrepresenting it. All it does is it's a response to an influx of gender ideology in schools and sexual orientation content in classrooms across the nation. And critics have most notably taken issue with the bill's statement that classroom instruction by school personnel or third parties on sexual orientation or gender identity may not occur in kindergarten through third grade, or in a manner that's not age appropriate or developmentally appropriate for students in accordance with state standards. Now, that's controversial. How?
Yeah.
Why?
You know what it is? If you continue, it allows for more parental involvement in in the classroom, which of course
They don't.
is
No way they want
exactly.
that.
You don't want to give up that power. You don't want to give up that.
Well, parents just don't know.
And I'll say it again. We used to agree on this. We used to agree that parents have their best interests of the kids at heart. And if they don't want you to teach this, they can opt out of it, or they insist that you don't teach it in kindergarten. They don't have to hear about transsexuality or homosexuality or heterosexuality, for that matter.
Right. You're just
in
a kid.
kindergarten. They're
You're just
just
a
kids.
kid.
Let them be kids. Leave them alone. It's unbelievable that we can't so much as agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
According to the CDC, a child usually can follow rules or take turns playing games with other children by 5 years old. That 5-year-old may sing, dance, or do simple chores like matching socks or cleaning the table. The child may tell a story that he or she heard, answer simple questions, maintain a simple conversation, count to 10, use words like yesterday, tomorrow, morning, or night, and hop on one foot. Not sure why this is part of the article, actually.
Well, this is what the CDC is recommending. It's basically saying this is where kids are developmentally.
Yeah.
But no,
Okay,
let's
so
definitely
don't
start
get into sex
Yeah, so let's start
with them.
talking to them about sex at
Right.
that age. Stop it.
But again, nowhere in the legislation is the word gay mentioned, though the word parent is mentioned 32 times. Parental is mentioned 7 times. Legislation heavily focuses on parental notification.
That's the problem.
And parental awareness of what children are being taught or exposed to in school, which is exactly as it should be. Wow. So
It's really
anyway.
strange. Any good teacher, I mean, over the years, any good teacher, it's been a while since my kids were actually in the school, but any good teacher always wanted parental involvement. I guess those days are long gone.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. So the bill passed yesterday in the Florida Senate, and now heading to Governor DeSantis' desk for him to sign, and I'm pretty sure he's going to because he spoke highly about the bill, and somebody was trying to challenge him on, why do you hate gay people? And he's like, okay, shut up. We know you have an agenda. Stop it. And so he was really strong.
Point
on
out
that.
where it says that?
Yeah.
Because I don't see the word.
And that's what he told him. Told him the word gay isn't even in it. So I don't know why you're chanting gay through the halls of the Capitol building. It's insanity. It's a madhouse.
It's a madhouse!
Mm-hmm.
A madhouse!
Speaking of which, Gen Z gals, I love the word gals, on growing out their body hair. So I guess Generation Z that's the generation right before millennials, right?
Gen Z after.
Or is it after millennials?
Yeah,
Gen Z is like...
That's younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Model Sydney Jordan admits she's lost out on a number of fashion things by a hair. She says, I'm not willing to shave.
See what they did there?
Yeah. I'm not willing to shave. This is part of my brand. Okay, so she's 25 and fits into Gen Z. She said her fuzzy... This is why she has fuzzy armpits and legs. Ick.
Jeffy's really paying close attention right now.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Jordan lives in Ohio, has been warned by her agent that body hair is not industry standard, but she doesn't care. I'm trying to normalize this, she said. Yeah, good for you.
Go for it.
Lately, women have been raising hell by ditching their razors after 2 years of the COVID-19 pandemic, in which women gave up everything from hair dye to heels. Ladies are flocking to TikTok to show off their all-natural approach to grooming. Ugh. Don't do that on my account, please. Ugh. But apparently the hashtag body hair is natural has more than 91 million views. 91 million. And the pro-body hair movement is gaining ground offline, too. According to YouGov body image studies.
Oh, no.
35% of Americans have no preference if women shave or not. Really?
What was the percentage?
35?
No.
I mean, 65% still do, though.
No.
So
yeah, I mean, it's still a fashion deal.
Thing. Yeah. 7% said they shouldn't shave. For respondents between the age of 18 and 35, female hair proved to be even less of an issue, with a majority confessing that they either find armpit hair attractive or don't care about it.
I mean, it's
I'm with you, man.
So
that's neat.
It's a pain.
That's neat. Yeah, I'm sure it is.
It's a pain to shave.
I'm sure it is.
You get the rashes and the ingrown hairs. It's just it's easier not to shave. I mean, you know that. That's why you stopped shaving.
That's why
every day, right?
Yeah. Right. Well, no, I still shaved here and here.
I mean, yeah, it's a pain.
It's a pain. Yeah.
But it doesn't mean I
a lot of things are a
prefer it.
pain.
I'm not in that 35%.
Right.
Ooh. I'm a hypocrite. Whatever. There I am.
We'll tell you about a couple other hair issues in just a second. First, let me tell you about rough greens. If you don't care that much about your dog's hair, which I don't really, but you do want to feed them nutritious things, the dry kibble food you're feeding your dog isn't cutting it because all of the nutrients in that have been burned out of it in the sterilization process so that the bags of the dog food last 2 or 3 years on the store shelves. It's really so great when you find that rough greens, which is what we're talking about here, it's a supplement for your dog's food. When you find that rough greens has invigorated your dog and your dog is acting like a puppy again, it's awesome. Been telling you about this for a while. Rough green changed my dog Belle's life for the better. Used to be a really picky eater, and then we started putting, and she would literally take each of the little kibble pieces, put one in her mouth, walk it across the room, drop it on the floor, wander around the room for a minute, go back, and she'd eat that one. And that process went on all day because it's like she could barely tolerate her food. Well, we started sprinkling the rough greens on it, and she just ate the whole thing in one sitting. Awesome. Just gobbled it down. She loves it and wouldn't eat her food without the rough greens after a while. So this is a dog food supplement that puts back all the nutrients in their diet. And most dogs go crazy for this stuff. I know mine does, and most other dogs I hear about as well. But Rough Greens wants you to be able to make sure before you commit to buying it. So you can get a free bag of Rough Greens for your dog to try out. All you pay is shipping. Just go to roughgreens.com or call 833-783-3364. Rough Greens, RUFFgreens.com or 833-783-3364. Call today.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Another problem that we haven't talked about is uncontrollable hair syndrome.
I hate that.
And apparently, well, you're going to see first of all, I got to show you this little kid. He's a 1-year-old, and he's got unruly locks that are actually caused by a rare genetic condition called uncombable hair syndrome.
Okay.
Uncombable hair syndrome.
I like it.
Okay, that's
Do we have a picture of this?
It's a real thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Look at this guy. It looks like he
There's the kid.
rubbed a balloon
That's
on his
awesome.
head.
That's an awesome look right there.
You know what? If you're listening to the audio version, it's like you stuck your finger in a light socket.
Or you took a balloon and rubbed it all over your hair. And
That's
the
awesome.
static electricity just makes
What a
it all
cute
stand
kid,
up.
too.
Cute kid. But uncombable hair syndrome is what he's suffering from.
Uh-huh.
But it's not
I
life-threatening.
mean, they could just shave it off if they don't
That's
like
true.
the hair.
You
sticking
could.
out like
They said
that.
he should
Yeah, you
grow out
could.
of it by the time he gets a little
But even
older.
if he doesn't,
Really funny.
Well,
I
apparently.
mean, so
Yeah, some people don't grow out of it, huh? Look at there's one of them right there.
I'm all right with that.
There's evidence.
Yeah,
You see?
we got this kid right there that you
It's
see.
a big kid.
I know mine's getting a little long now. Though.
He did not grow out of his uncombable hair
I'm a
syndrome.
fan.
Obviously.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's getting a little long now, though.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? You gonna do one of those little faux spike?
I've got to
things?
get it. Yeah, I got to get it trimmed up a little bit.
You're not gonna embrace it and do a little spiky mohawk thing?
That's what I mean. I got it trimmed up a little bit. It'll stand straight up. It's been that way. I've had that uncombable hair syndrome. Forget how long it's right now. It's at the point now where it's starting to get where it will lay down a little, but it doesn't take much. It'll be back.
Was it Christmas time you shaved your head? When was that?
November.
November.
End of November.
It grew back pretty quickly.
End of November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
I know.
All right.
I think the last time I shaved my head before this past November, I remember one of the people I was working with, I'll never forget getting on an elevator and having him go, someday that's not going to grow back.
And now it haunts you.
It does.
As you see the prophecy come true.
No, it's growing back, though. What are you talking about?
Well, not in some places.
May I suggest keeps?
You can. You may suggest.
You may
keeps.
suggest that. That's a good
But
suggestion,
if it's gonna,
actually.
if it's going to make me have to wear a hat all the time, then no.
No, you don't have to wear a hat.
But I thought I did.
No, you don't. Mm-mm.
All
right. 888-900-3393. I love this video. We have a county judge here named Clay Jenkins. Now, the county judges aren't they're more like councilmen, right? They're more like...
Yeah, they oversee, right?
They're not...
They're like the head of the...
They don't sit and judge
counties, yeah.
trials and things.
Yeah, it's just a weird name.
Yeah. So this guy is a big-time radical leftist, and...
Oh, yeah.
He was always trying to get the kids back in masks when Abbott would say,
right,
enough of this nonsense. And he
was big on lockdowns. And
loved it.
Yeah,
loved it. Fit right into his agenda. So we have Alex Stein went out and confronted him about an issue he's discovered with Clay Jenkins
Alex
from
Stein
his past.
is the funny guy who always shows up at Dallas City Council meetings and puts on a show for us. And we've played some of his clips before. He's funny. He's good stuff.
Tell me about the time you got arrested in college for raiding that panty drawer.
Wait. So this is...
Pause it for a second.
Panty drawer in college.
This is a news story that just came out.
Yeah, they just found out that he was arrested for doing a panty raid in college. I mean, shut up. You believe he's going to excuse
I
this
know
now,
what
too.
he's about to do.
I mean, it's a college prank.
Stop.
Come on. Who among us hasn't done a panty raid?
That's a good point.
It's a rite of passage. Come on.
Who among us?
Yep. First of all, why is this guy accosting him on the street?
the I guess it's the Dallas Morning News or who it was just decided to do a story on this. They found this out and this is coming to light.
Look, the guy deserves to be confronted on
Yeah, he
any
does.
douche he thinks he's done.
Yes, he does.
No question about it. He deserves this 100%.
And I love the little billboard at the bottom of the video. County Judge Clay Jenkins exposed for being a pervert.
Who among us?
That's a little much.
That's a little
That's
much.
a little
Come
much.
on. Come on. It's just a rite of passage. All right, let's see this.
What is the deal? Remember when you raided that panty drawer in college and got arrested? What did you get arrested for again?
What'd you get arrested for again? Come on, Clay.
Clay, no way. He's not
Guys,
commenting.
You're cowards. Who afraid to say something? He's gonna put your kids in masks. What's the deal, though? Remember when you got arrested?
What's the deal, though? Remember when you got
so Clay,
arrested?
We'll look it up. It's Dallas Morning News article. Clay in college broke into some girls' dorm rooms and stole all their underwear. Now, in this day and age,
Weird.
I think that would be considered sexual harassment. But I guess not. Is that not sexual harassment, Clay?
No, that's not.
Stealing girls' underwear? That's not? You can film me. I don't care. I'm just saying. Hey, Clay, when you got arrested, is that okay, though, to steal women's underwear, Clay? When you got arrested by the Dallas Morning News? Is that how it works? Clay?
Clay?
You're too afraid to say something, Clay.
Clay, do you wear their underwear as masks since you love it so much?
Look at Clay laugh. Look at Clay. Look at this. He's too big of a coward. He's such a coward. He won't even say anything. These are our representatives. They won't even talk. They're a bunch of cowards.
Do you wear their underwear over your nose and mouth? That's a question, Clay.
Clay's fine. Give him a little smile. Keep walking. Don't say anything.
Now, is Clay on the campaign trail?
I guess so. He's just walking around this neighborhood. This guy's at a
I think
sign.
he was coming from some event.
Is that
and he
he's
parked,
got-
9 miles away
Yeah.
so that he wouldn't have to deal with people like Alex.
Right.
That's awesome.
Is that okay to steal women's underwear?
I mean, it's funny. And he definitely deserves that.
He definitely does.
Is he a pervert for it?
First of all,
Not really.
it's just a rite of passage.
Yeah, and he is up for re-election right now.
Yeah.
This fall.
Yeah. November. So
Shame to see him go.
Wouldn't it be a shame? Yeah, it'd be a real shame. All right. 888-900-3393. Remember the Ottawa police that attended the break the glass?
They attempted to
on
break
dinner?
it. Yeah. There was a diner, right, that helped out the truckers.
Yes.
And my gosh, don't open your doors. Don't you operate your business. And the cops, of course, threatened to break the glass door, come in there, just because.
Yeah, that was a big video when they
weren't-
wanted to come in, and he was like, he didn't want the police in.
Because this diner wasn't playing ball with the cops. They were helping the truckers by being open.
And we have an update on that.
Now, the city of Ottawa is going to evict him. So I'll just turn around here. I'll show you. His sign has been taken down. I just talked to the owner, and
wow,
they took down his sign. He doesn't have it back, so they just basically stole it from him at this point. They took down his sign, and I'm actually going to go meet up with him at a storage facility because he had to remove all of his food.
Jeez.
So he had he said $8,000 or $9,000 worth of inventory in his restaurant. He's now had to go move it to a storage facility so it doesn't go bad. Actually, he's such a kind man that he said if he can't open his store again, he's going to donate it all to shelters because he wants to make sure his food is used. He has been given until the end of March. Actually, he told me right around his birthday, which is just insult to injury. So he's been given around to the end of March to get out of here. They've already found new tenants. They've already found someone else that they're going to stick in here, and they're going to kick him out. You know what his crime is? Being open. The guy was struggling to pay rent. Really difficult 2 years, obviously, as it was for everyone. And all of a sudden, tens of thousands of people come down here, and they're looking for places to eat.
Yeah.
He opens. He had his signs up. He was wearing his mask. He was doing all that. But for the crime of allowing people to come in and eat, the city is shutting him down.
Despicable.
Good.
Maybe next time he'll follow
That's
the
right.
rules.
He should have been feeding those human beings, running his business. That's
just amazing how many injustices like this
I know
have been brought on people. I mean, for opening your business, it's just so wrong. So absolutely wrong.
Sure is.
You know what's right, though, is the gifts that we keep receiving. We've got more gifts here. This one is from Padhead Kenneth Springer.
Oh, nice.
Sent us these Pez dispensers?
Pez dispensers. Okay, what do we got?
All right. You got one?
Oh, nice.
I think there's 3 in 1 or something.
Star Wars.
Do I get
when
one?
was the last time you had Pez? It's been a while for me.
Yeah, I don't know. Nice.
So Star Wars Pez dispensers. That's kind of fun. You got the Baby Yoda, or the Child, Grogu, and the Mandalorian.
I love this.
Pez
Thank you
dispensers.
so much, Ken.
Thank you. And
this is
Is there Pez?
Yeah, it's inside.
Yeah, it's in
Is
there.
Extra?
Yeah, it's in the back there.
Then we got this from Rowdy Introvert. Hope you enjoy the epic busts. No, Jeffy, not that kind of bust.
Disappointed.
It's a bust of Washington for Pat, Coolidge for Keith, and Franklin for his twin,
let's see.
Jeffy.
Nice.
Let's
wow.
do for his twin.
Okay. So let's look and see what these.
All right.
Does he make these?
I don't know. I think he ordered them from somewhere.
Okay.
Is that Silent Cow?
Look at there's Coolidge.
Yeah.
There is G-Dub.
G-Dub. What's up? The OG,
my main man, G-Dub.
OG founder.
And then Ben.
That's my
right
man
there.
right there.
Okay. I
Right
love
there.
it. Thank you so much. We're going to
Really cool.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you. This is great. I love these. So here's your Franklin, Jeffy, and Calvin for Keith.
Oh, they look heavier.
Yeah, I think they're supposed to.
You're just that strong.
You're supposed to assume they're marble, and then you're surprised by the fact that you can lift it.
Okay. I mean,
you
marble
disappointed?
would have been better.
What's the problem?
But thank you.
If they would have been made out of solid gold, that would have been better.
Thanks. I
Thank
guess.
you, Rowdy
Platinum.
Introvert. This is
Appreciate
good
you,
stuff.
picking it up.
If they came with thousands of dollars inside when you cracked them open.
You know, I
that
would
might
put
have
it on
been
my
better.
shelf here on the wall if I wasn't forced to remove said trinket shelf a while back. So I'll
All right.
Yeah, no.
I'll
you
find
don't-
Good thing you removed it because
I'll
they were going to do something with that wall
find a
someday.
place. That's
one
right.
day.
That's
Yeah.
right. You remember this?
Yes, I do.
You remember that tail?
Yeah, so it's a
Boy,
good thing.
Look at what they did.
They had to remove it though so that it
Yeah.
could rest
So-
before they do whatever
Yes.
they're going to
You
do
can't
with
It's
it.
like a
can't just-
field rotation.
Yeah, we're in the 4-year resting waiting period right now.
Okay, so we'll get it working in a few years.
All right, we will see you again tomorrow on most of this same podcast channel thing that we do and do so well. See you tomorrow.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.